Plants vs Zombies Fusion is a mod for PvZ 1 that lets you slap two plants together, creating whatever that thing is, which coincidentally happened to release sometime after my PvZ knockoff video on Peashooter, giving us fan favorites such as the King of Snow and I don't like you. But after seeing the success of this game online and catching a glimpse of the gameplay, yeah, we're making a video on this. Funnily enough, it appears that PopCap maybe took note of the whole plant-cest bonanza, with Plants vs Zombies 3 trying their luck with fusing too. Get well soon. But all of that leads us here with PvZ Fusion. And just talking about this game makes me want to blow my fuse. Loading into the game, what the Fusion Showcase? TD mode? Odyssey? Where is Super Mario? There is way too much happening on my screen right now. I need some help. Well, that's just not nice, is it? We're gonna choose to ignore all of this, including whatever the hell abyss means, and start the adventure. One zombie. Okay, I know it's the first level, but I don't suck that bad. And what's up with Peashooter and Sunflower already being unlocked? Could Dave just not be asked to reteach the player today? Right, these two traps are imported. Now take them and piss off. But once collecting these two, it appears we're either trapped in the Matrix or Sunflower has learned Shadow Clone Jitsu. But setting off with Peash and Flower, we get interrupted by words. I'ma just pretend that this is Dave talking to us from the sky, because he asked me to put him out of his misery. There are many interesting new plants and new ways to play here. Is that so? Because these two knobs seem pretty familiar to me. Please plant a sunflower first. What now, Dave? What you gonna do about it? Nothing, apparently. Sunflowers are very important sun producers. Now try planting a pea shooter on top of the sunflower. What a cool hat you have, Sunflower. What the? Dave, do you mind not throwing your seed packets at me? I'm trying to bounce Peashooter on Sunflower right now. Whoa. Why does he look like Flappy Bird? So if you haven't figured it out already, this is essentially what makes PvZ Fusion stand out from the regular game, with plants coming together to combine their abilities so you can pee whilst sunbathing. Very good. Now try to fuse a Gatling pea. I'm sorry, a Gatling pea? As in the machine gun guy with an army helmet. You want me to make that thing on level 1? Unless this zombie has been hitting the gym recently. This is insanely over the top for... Why is Split Pea here? Good job. Grow more plants to resist the invasion of zombies. What? All... one of them. Right, here he comes then. Oh, I'm so scared. Please don't eat my knees. And he's dead. Hooray! Come on, Dora, you know the words. We did it! It appears that someone else has learned Shadow Clone Jitsu. Well, I might as well play with more fusions. What even is the point of Split Pea anyway? It's not like his backside can make peas turn around to shoot the zombies. Hold on. What type of bouncy ass? I refuse to believe that these peas are just bouncing back off Dave's window. But after mowing down the zombie horde, we made it to the final wave. In case you forgot, we're on level 1. You found a new plant for your Zen garden. What? In him. So after finishing off this brown coat with sun bombs, we unlocked... Oh. I won. But why are you giving me a trophy already? All I've done is make Flappy Bird and Tumor Shooter over there. We went on to level 2, revealing Browncoat's big brother, and... Why are you here? Last time I checked, I was given a shiny trophy and not a pair of rashy balls. And it appears that after playing PvZ 2 with only Garden Warfare plants for so long that I immediately forgot what game I was playing and just placed my plants down normally. All until I snapped out of it and threw Cherry Bomb onto Peashooter. Oh. We made the Cherry Shooter, which shoots, take a guess, oranges. And after fusing a couple more pea shooters with him, we've now created this abomination. You look like Shrek's scalp. We flew through the rest of this level, making Gatling Cherry Pepsi Max, and we received another trophy. How many times do you want me to beat the game, Dave? And why the hell is Nut here? Do they just swap out my trophies with new plants when I'm not looking? Regardless, Dave tells us that when walnuts are fused, their toughness is restored. Cool fact, Dave. Didn't ask, though. And whilst I was aimlessly placing my pea shooters, the next horde came crawling in and... Oh no, that Coda is getting too close. Wait, pea shooter's not gonna make it. Quick, Walnut, defend pea shooter! What? The shit is that thing? Not only did I misclick planting walnuts, but I've also got a made Peanut who just pisses almonds on the floor. Oh, real intimidating, Peanut. You might accidentally kill one if you're lucky through allergies. And as I slowly built up my defense, I wanted to see how overpowered I could make one singular lane. So as I went to merge Walnut with himself to obviously create Toolnut, I plonked him onto his brother and... Right. Yeah, bye then, Walnut. See you later. Can someone explain how Peach plus Peach equals Repeach, Flower plus Flower equals Flower Power, and Walnut plus Walnut equals It's time to go home? Congratulations on unlocking the gloves. This is a very important item. You can use the gloves to move plants somewhere else. Is that so? Go along, Walnuts.
Home run.
Try moving the twin sunflower behind Cherry Nut. What are you doing there in the first place? And why do you sound like a condom flavor? You've learned how to use the gloves. That's great, Dave. If you could just direct me to the nearest trash can so I can use my gloves to throw away this tomato. I'm not sure how I feel about this move the plants to wherever you want type vibe, considering I can instantly stop this javelin zombie from sprinting with Cherry Face, and then just move him back again to stop him from walking. Oh, what's this? Another javelin man? One sec, Mr. Javelin. Just gonna pop downstairs and lol. Sorry, here's your nut back, Mr. Javelin. Enjoy your meal. To me, this system feels a little too broken, which is saying a lot considering I can make Gatling peas within literal seconds. But I suppose this feature can still be useful for waves which look like this. Sunnut, what are you doing, buddy? You need to be powered up. Fusing you with Walnut. This fusion is only available in Odyssey mode. Sorry, are you telling me that I can't make a fusion in PvZ Fusion because of Mr. Super Mario Odyssey? What is the point of experimenting and figuring out cool new plant combos if you're just gonna lock them behind a whole different mode? And it doesn't help that these levels are so damn long to beat. I can't even occupy myself by making new fusions because, you aren't ready to use NAPALM-SHROOM. And if it wasn't bad enough, not only can I not fuse plants to pass the time, but even collecting sun has been taken away from me. All of the sun produced from your flowers is auto-deposited in your bank account. And whilst that can be useful for the players who can't be asked to click on their screen to do anything, for me who has to play through these stretched out waves just to plant the same thing over and over again makes me feel like I'm just watching someone else's Let's Play. Peashooter! Plant Peashooter! Not even in the settings can I turn on manual sun collection. I am being forced to watch my older brother play the game whilst I got given the unplugged controller. But all of this rambling has seemingly made the zombies mad because they've now got ahead and fused with Peashooter. And with Potato Mine being unlocked, I went ahead and made the whole Spud family. He's seen some things. So getting through day 5 with potatoes and peas, we were rewarded with Chomper. And if I know anything from PvZ 2, Peashooter plus Chomper gives off Snap Pea. That's just a curb stomped Chomper. But don't worry, it looks like we can combine curb stomper with walnut to make... Awesome. You know, this whole go play Super Mario Odyssey business is ticking me off. I never had to deal with this issue in Peashooter. You want a buff Pikachu? Here's a buff Pikachu. You want a lightning windmill with spikes? Have your lightning windmill. And even with being able to fuse these guys, they barely even let me defeat the zombies. Whilst PvZ Fusion just gives you every overpowered plant under the sun. And if that somehow is too much for you, then don't worry, because we luckily have access to slow mode. Now this is balance. I'm really on the edge of my step ladder. The plant gift box can produce all basic plants. Try putting the plant gift box on this repeater. All right, I'll play your game, Dave. Oh, okay. I mean, if I'm not allowed to manually make certain fusions, then at least I can use the gift box to get a chance at... This fusion is only... What fusion? I am using the gift box to make a random fusion and you're still not gonna let me do it because of this Italian twat? What is the point of this? Not only am I blindly gambling at a chance of a good plant, but sometimes they just choose to not give me the fusion anyway. And in the midst of not being able to do the thing the game was named after, remember when I said this game was relatively easy because spamming the same zombie over and over isn't really a challenge for Cherry Bomb Gatling P? Well, not to worry because this newspaper zombie is here to turn the tide. Let's blow everything up. Yay. Quick, Sunflower, I need your help. Give me your strongest fusion. Have you ever thought about putting zombie equipment on plants? No. Why would I think that? Click on the iron bucket and place it on Peashooter. It's an iron plant. Great, man. I guess I'll get to fusing. Let's make Iron Shooter into Iron Repeater. And that is not a thing. Okay. Well, nothing left to do now than sit and wait for the whole zombie family tree to show up. Don't give me that look, Squash Nut. I didn't give you life. Tall nuts can be planted on top of existing walnuts. So, the exact same thing as PvZ1. Editing Brando here? I don't know why I said this. Tall nut is just a regular-ass plant. I don't know how I got that wrong. Why can't you just fuse tall nuts? That's like the whole point of this game! I am losing my mind! So with the use of Fireboy and Water Girl, we were able to defend our plant-cest family. Ooh. It's nighttime now. But there were the first line levels of PvZ Fusion. There is a lot more content here that I couldn't fit into this video. So if for some reason you want me to continue this game to see what other fusions are out there, or what the hell Super Mario Odyssey mode is, make sure to like the video. And if you're on mobile, try pressing this hype button in the comment section area. I don't know what it does, but it looks pretty funny.